Hey, hi there and welcome. In this session, we are going to learn about the cloud. So, what is the cloud anyway? By definition, cloud refers to the servers which has been hosted physically somewhere else, but they are hosting the software, databases or the data by the user, and that can be accessed via the internet from anywhere in the world. So, these physical servers or the cluster of the servers are usually hosted at certain regions or zones called as data centers. So what I can say is a group of physical servers or virtual servers which are hosted at a particular place, that particular place is called as a data center. Before getting into the details of the cloud, let us see how the cloud has been evolved so far. In the first generation, people who used to own the businesses online used to host their own infrastructure in their premises. And then, based on the requirement, as they scale up, sometimes based on the requirement, they used to rent out the others infrastructure like buying their computing time, etc., on a rental basis. So that is the second generation, that is called as rented infrastructure, and that has been evolved further into cloud infrastructure. That is like few companies has developed the infrastructure especially to rent out their infrastructure for the companies to allow them to process their data or to host their applications or any services, etc., on their infrastructure as a service per charge. So this is how the in-house premises infrastructure has been developed into cloud infrastructure. Right now, people are are using a combination of in-house, rented or cloud infrastructure based on their requirement. But out of these three, cloud infrastructure is one of the most secure, reliable, flexible and you know a cost-effective way to host any small to mid-cap businesses, online businesses especially. So what is the need of the cloud? Let us say you are a startup founder who want to host a website, any networking website or like an e-commerce website, etc. So for that, what you need to do, first of all, you need to buy a lot of servers, and then you need to deploy your website, maintain it, monitor the servers on your own if you know as a startup founder, or else you need to hire a dedicated person to do that, which will obviously increase the expenses on the startup. And finally, the very big hurdle for the startups will be the uncertainty in their traffic or the user behavior on their website on or their app application, etc. So this has led to startup founders or mid cap companies think about the cloud especially because buying the servers is highly expensive, and maintaining them especially is a very big hectic task, I can say. Apart from bearing the expenses of the human resources to maintain them, it also you know oh, it also makes a lot of difficulty to actually maintain the servers out of the hackers, and maintaining the securities, firewalls, etc., is one of the major challenges usually the companies face when their whole business is based on online infrastructure. And uncertainty in the traffic is one of the big problems for the companies, uh, and making that uncertainty in the traffic more expensive for them to bear. Because let us say one particular e-commerce site may be having few users on a daily basis, but few thousand users on a particular sale day. And how to cope up with that when you have a limited infrastructure on your own, and all of a sudden for only one day you cannot scale up your in-house infrastructure to meet thousands of users demand for only one particular day, right? That is where the cloud kind of infrastructure helps a lot. So it brings to the question, why the cloud? Basically, when it's come to maintaining or developing an online business, so most of the time you don't need to waste your time on maintaining the infrastructure. Instead of that, you can just upload your data by website into the cloud or the data center and start focusing on creating or developing your business rather than wasting a lot of time on maintaining the servers. And second thing is, the cloud infrastructure is highly flexible in the sense, like let us say, as I told you just now, if you have few users on daily basis and all of a sudden on a particular sale day you might be having thousands of users to your website, so thus the virtual machine you are choosing on the cloud will easily handle thousands of users as well, based on the availability of the other servers and the service you opt for. Second thing is reliability. Cloud servers are more reliable compared to in-house infrastructure, because in-house infrastructure you will most probably have one or two servers which will actually have all your data, right? But let us assume you have an hacker attack on your server and all your data has been erased. Then what you will do? Because in that case cloud computing is one of the most optional best option out there, because in the cloud infrastructure most probably they will have multiple regions and multiple zones and multiple data centers with each and every server is being replicated, and in all the data centers and all the zones and regions. So that makes it very hard for the even hackers to delete the data even deliberately, because they keep on replicating the data in all the available zones, infrastructure, data centers, etc. So that brings to the flexibility as well as the reliability points. And third thing is security. As we all know, like online security is becoming more and more vulnerable when it's come to the targeted hacking. So if your website is maybe like getting good hits, or like it is increasing its brand value in the market, then there is a high chance that most of the hackers will try to hack your website, delete the data or something like that, and maintaining the security will become a big headache, and most of your time will get consumed in maintaining the security to the website and your servers itself. And that brings to the security question. And when it's come to the cloud computing, as I told you just now, since the data is being replicated all over the data centers, all over the zones and all over the multiple regions, so it is really hard to delete in all the servers where your data has been like replicated. So that is one of the reason. And most of the times, like the computing platforms like Amazon Web Services or Google platform, Google Cloud Computing, etc., they have the most highly skilled persons to handle these kind of attacks from the hackers. So that brings to the answer, like for the security purpose, so that we cannot afford on a normal scale. So that is one of the biggest reason why cloud computing is becoming more and more important for the online businesses or the online based apps, websites, etc. So this comes to the final question, like what is the cloud computing? To sum it up, what I can say is, if you are able to access your application, your software or your data from anywhere in the world with a device and an internet connection, and you are able to process any computationally intense task, and you are able to handle any big file out of your small configured laptop or even a phone, then that is what I call it as a cloud computing. And that brings to the points, the above mentioned points: the flexibility, reliability, secure, and you can focus on creating by developing your business rather than maintaining all the infrastructure. This brings to the end of this particular session, and in coming sessions we are going to learn about what are the different types of cloud computing, and what are the difference between traditional and what is the difference between traditional as well as cloud computing, etc. Okay, that we'll see in coming sessions. Thank you.